everyone. This is Eric, your friendly neighborhood home care sales coach. Can we get more Jackson 5 while we're waiting? Colin, I'll send you out a mixtape. It's all Jackson 5. Guys, today we're going to have a webinar on one of my favorite topics, private duty service sales. So I hope everybody just is relaxed, have a soda or some type of libation, and maybe helpful for you to get a roll of Bounty paper towels out, because I'm going to make your minds melt today, and it may leak out over the keyboard, you never know. And I say Bounty paper towels because I'm pitching for a Procter & Gamble product endorsement. So remember Bounty at your local grocery store. Guys, we have most of the people who have signed up in attendance, so we're going to go get started. My name is Eric Crump. I work here at TAG Home Care Marketing. I'm the assistant head coach here, coming up with strategies for private duty, home health, and hospice agencies across the country. It's my full-time job, believe it or not, just to come up with ways for you guys to go out and introduce your products and services to the market, increase your referrals, therefore your revenue, make you healthier. The old adage that all you got to do is be in the business and the population shift is going to make you rich, we all found out that's not quite right. So maybe you should pay attention, learn some things on the webinar that are unique to private duty sales and are working with a lot of our clients across the country. So if you need to reach me, my name is Eric Crump at eric.crump@theadamgrp.com. That's eric.crump@theadamgrp.com. You can locate me or any member of the TAG team at 1-866-232-6477. We've got a loyal following now. There's not that many newbies, but if you are a newbie, this is your first webinar. We're located in Franklin, Tennessee, about 15 miles south of Nashville. You can always access us for a free home care coaching call by going to www.homecarecoachingcall.com. And if you've missed any webinars that you would like to see, we load them all up after the season's over. And this is the final webinar of this season. So it'll be going up on YouTube pretty quickly. We're going to start the fall series within about 3 weeks. We've already had the subjects lined up for that one. But you can revisit the summer webinars or any past season webinars at www.youtube.com/tag webinars. See there? I told you so. We're about 15 miles south of Nashville, right here in Franklin, Tennessee. Lovely area. We could use some rain. I think Irene took all of our storm clouds and headed north with them. But it's a beautiful day here in Franklin. We invite you guys to come here for private duty boot camps. I'm going to make a private duty specific boot camp. I'm going to hold it to 10 seats. We're going to sell it today. We'll sell out today. It's going to be on December the 1st and 2nd, right here in beautiful Franklin, Tennessee. You'll hear the offer at the end. Call in, talk to Rebecca, Brian, Cindy, and they'll get you a good deal on some seats. So they'll discount some seats if you're on today's webinar. But remember, December the 1st and 2nd of this year, private duty webinar right here in Franklin, Tennessee. The power of home care coaching. Slowly but surely, man, we're making a difference out there in the home care community. Home care sales and marketing coaches on staff here at TAG. We assist in building your agency to its highest potential. We don't offer programs where you buy certain blocks and you have to purchase certain things. We're a la carte. We look at your service area, and whatever your need is, whatever is best practice for you to increase your business, that's what we're going to suggest. And sometimes, guess what, guys? It's just free, right? We just tell you how to do it, because a healthy private duty industry is healthy for TAG Home Care Marketing. So don't think we're in it for the wrong reasons. We're in it for you guys. right? MyHomeCareSalesCoach.com is an online sales and marketing support site with monthly coaching calls at your access. And also, guys, it's tens of thousands of dollars worth of open disease-specific templates. We'll talk a little bit about why private duty, disease-specific conversation is the way to go, because everybody is concentrating on outcomes, all market sectors, all healthcare market sectors. So when we talk about that piece of today's home care puzzle, we're going to bring up My Home Care Sales Coach and all the great templates that are loaded up there. Big Referrals Boot Camp is a 2-day intense home care sales training at our corporate headquarters right here in Franklin, Tennessee. Adam made me promise I wasn't going to mention the hockey rink on today's webinar, so I'm not going to mention the hockey rink on today's webinar and the fact that it's right across the street, because for whatever reason we're not going to mention today about the hockey rink and the fact that you could bring skates and skate on the hockey rink if you're into hockey, or you can just put on some thick socks and go over and skate on the surface with me. I like to pretend like I'm a portly Brian Boitano and go over there, you know, and I'm trying to put together a home care ice follies for this winter, and that would coincide with your boot camp on December 1st and 2nd. So we can have some fun over there. We'll decorate it up, you know, and have a ball. We also do magnetic marketing, on-site sales, and marketing training. We cover the entire country. We go to city-specific training, agency-specific training. We'll come to you with an agency and a full day's worth of very valuable training and marketing education. We make a difference, and we're proud to do it. Where we are and where your customers are. That's where I like to start with private duty services, because, you know, at its best, we're filling a niche that's very much needed in our marketplace. At its worst, we're going and trying to sell our compassion and our love for our clients as if we love them more than we do our grandparents, or we have some divine aura over our heads, and when our aides arrive in the home, it smells like celestial baby powders or whatever. That's home care private duty services marketing at its worst. So we're going to get real with it today, right? So if you're one of those who has it all figured out, and you're actually touched by a celestial being, and all your marketing has to do with angels up above and clouds floating seniors away in a heavenly celestial body, then you don't need to be on today's webinar, because that's not what we're about. We break free of that market style, and we walk out, take a deep breath, and join the real world. So even I am on my medication today, so I hope all you guys are too. Approximately 1.3 million people are receiving home care in the United States. Some of it is under the table. Some of it is done by family caregivers. And about 40%, 42%, the latest national average, is done by agencies, private duty agencies in the country. Of the total amount receiving care, about 3/4 are over the age of 65. Data does not include people living in residential communities. These are people still in their homes that are in need of our services. And 6 to 7% of people in this country, age 65 and above, need help for activities of daily living, right? So it's a pretty simple mathematical formula. You tell me where your agency is located. I'll go on uscensus.gov, and I will look up your counties that are in your service area, and we can estimate 6.5% of those people 65 and older would need your services, specific for activities of daily living. I will challenge you that another 6.5 or more could use your services if packaged properly and introduced properly. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but that's very important to remember. When you get your clients and how you get your clients is very important. You want to get them earlier in the healthcare continuum. Potential customers, clients 85 years or older are 6 times more likely to need activities of daily living services. More women than men need help for the simple fact that there's more women in that age bracket than there are men. Women outlive men in this country. Over 2.5 million potential customers out there who need your services. And if you, again, package them properly, and we'll get to what I mean by packaging your services properly and reaching out to your local market with a true service sell, then you can double that. 5 million potential clients out there who need your service. By 2030, this number will reach over 4 million seniors who need private duty services, and you can extrapolate that, and it's $8 to $9 million. 8 to 9 million seniors, who will need your services if you follow a more creative way of introducing your services to your senior market. Discover your share direct-to-customer marketing. Discover your share by direct-to-consumer marketing. We're going to get into that in just a second, which is one of the great ways to form your leads. But I want to today talk a little bit about our industry as a whole and how we should go after customers, right? So all of us are aging at the same rate, right? From the time we're born till we expire, we're aging at the same rate. Some of us just have a head start on others, right? But we're all on a continuum. As we age, our needs increase. So I'm going to tell you a story about if you can present your private duty services in a model that makes sense. It doesn't matter what age you are. A lot of your community clients could use your services. And if you come to a boot camp, I always use the example of, I have a 12-year-old son named Charlie. Charlie Crump goes to middle school. This is his first year. His mom and I both travel a lot, and a lot of times we're out of town. His older brother or caregiver will take care of Charlie, but there's this thing that just, it drives me insane, but I live in a suburban area, and I pay a service for curbside trash pickup, and it's Tuesdays. Today's Tuesday, so I would say, I'd venture a guess that 60% of the time, my trash can doesn't make it to the curb. I'm either out of town, I leave early for work, I got to talk to one of you nice guys, and it doesn't happen, and it's a source of frustration for me. And other things that happen when I'm not there, Charlie will spend 20 minutes on his hair but not brush his teeth. And he won't eat breakfast. And we'll throw in the fact that he doesn't make his bed and his bathroom's a mess when he leaves for school. So my point is, I'm in need of your service. Today I'm in need of your service. If you're in Franklin, Tennessee, and you approach me with a $59 package that once a week on Tuesdays, you'll make sure that Charlie Crump is clean with his teeth brushed and appropriately dressed, has breakfast, his bed's made up, his bathroom's clean, and my trash can makes it to the curb every Tuesday. That's worth $59 to me today as I sit here, right? That's your challenge. I want you to start thinking outside the box, and I want you to start packaging your services to your general community in such a way that it makes sense, and get your clients earlier and get them more often. And give up the old, I'm doing it this way because this is how everybody does it. Because there's too much ground noise now. You need to separate yourself from people in the market still doing it on a cost per hour basis. And quite frankly, if you're being shopped by someone in need of services, of private duty services, and you throw an hourly rate out there, that's what you're going to be compared to, is hourly rates. And you'll lose the business over a $0.25, 25 cents an hour. They'll go with the cheaper price. However, if you can creatively come up with packages and lead with your benefits, and no one else in your market is leading that way, who are they going to compare you to, right? And the analogy is, you would never dream of paying someone an hourly rate to come in and clean your carpet, right? We don't do that. We hire people and get our carpet cleaned by the room, right? I can have clean, fresh-smelling carpet in 3 rooms for $159. I'll do it. I see the benefit, I see the service, and I agree that the benefit's worth the price. That's how we need to start marketing our services, because we're a commodity, people. I mean, unless you do have some type of halo or some type of aura that you're putting off that is a saintly type thing, we're seen as the same when we arrive, especially to senior populations and to clinical referral sources. We're all alike. We have to differentiate ourselves with our delivery model. Another good example is in whatever room you're sitting in, and it needs to be painted. If we brought in 2 painters, they had the same background, the same references, and they could do the same job, and one guy is going to charge us $300 versus another guy charging us $100 an hour, we're going to jump at the $300 flat rate, because we don't know how long it takes the second guy to paint, right? He may take out an artist brush and take 2 weeks to paint our kitchen for all we know. So I want you guys to embrace that concept of packaging your private duty services to meet your specific community needs. And if you need more coaching on it, if you need some examples, if you need to get some people who've done it and been successful and gotten rich doing it, give me a call, 1-866-232-6477, guys. The number's on every screen. Okay, I'm off my little rant, and we're going to continue by saying direct-to-consumer marketing. This is the way to generate leads, and it's almost as if it's an invisible marketer for you. In private duty, it's always a challenge to know what is an A account, what's a B account, what's a C account, because private duty service hours comes from so many different sectors, right? But if you want to hit the seniors living in their home with needs already expressed, this is the way to do it. So pharmaceutical companies paved the way for home care. Over 52 million people are registered with self-reported conditions, and this is as of 2009. The list now includes households with living elderly parents, so we can target a lot of different things. So an innovative new twist called variable data direct mail marketing is a way to reach into these individual homes within your service area with a powerful message. And we can pull targeted lists of potential clients through many different filters. In other words, you call up and say, Eric, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I want people income 150K or greater, age 70 or greater. I want some disease-specific conditions, and I want elderly parents living in the home. I'll filter all those things down for you, throw a number back at you that's real, that represents individuals in your service area. We have a great list manager here, David Hedges, and he turns around these requests really quickly, and I'd be happy to do it for you. So here's examples of health conditions that are available to you that you can filter with, right? And see if this doesn't sound like it's in your sweet spot as a home care provider. Wheelchair assistance needed, bath assistance needed, Alzheimer's disease, multiple sclerosis, mobility problems, and assistance needed. And remember, these are pharmaceutical lists where questionnaires go out for discounts to pharmaceutical drugs, and they have gathered all this information and recently released these condition-specific lists to list brokers. Other health conditions available: Parkinson's disease, diabetes, COPD, CHF. If you wanted to team up with someone and go disease-specific, there's no better diagnosis than those bottom three: diabetes, COPD, and CHF. If you don't know what's going on with the big payer source in healthcare, Medicare, just go to Medicare.gov and look what they're judging hospitals, specialty clinics, residential care communities, and home health providers on the readmission of certain diagnoses. Right now it's all cardiopulmonary, and next stage will be diabetes and COPD, and generic chest pain is listed as another thing. And it's not a big mystery. Medicare is going after certain diagnoses because that's where they're spending their most money. So if you wanted to go disease specific with a good program, reach out to and be an adjunct care provider with home health and come up with a care continuum where you're doing the hands-on, creating patient scorecards in the home, high-touch delivery. Home health needs that because they need to reduce their own readmission numbers back into acute settings. And to be honest, private duty has more direct contact with these CHF patients than any other healthcare provider service. So the ability to go with disease-specific filters, age, income, area, it gives you the ability to reach only the potential clients who may need you with special messages, right? So it's not like the old days of direct mail where you just got an age and a location. Sometimes you get income, and you just mail out 10,000 mailers. You can narrow this stuff down to 1,000, and each one of those households receiving it has already self-reported that they have a preponderance of needing your service, right? So educating the community as marketing. You can brand your agency's name, logo, contact information, and services. In other words, you're going to send them stuff out is a great marketing campaign. To be known in the market, that's what you want to do. That's what marketing does. They need to know of you and of your services. So it keeps your services top of mind to the public, and you begin to create that elusive trust bond, that one-to-one contact on how you can differentiate yourself from your competitors. Remember, there has to be a trust bond there, and it goes beyond printing on brochures that you love all your clients like you do your grandparents. And I saw that a couple of months ago, and it just stuck in my head. I was thinking, who is gullible enough to believe that, right? Who was going to put that on a printed brochure? Because that's not what we're all about. We're a service. We need to be professional. We need to show up on time, dressed appropriately, handle everything that's on the care plan, and be a quality adjunct care provider for these people. They don't need other family members. Then tap into live value-added presentations. In other words, you can invite them to a senior luncheon campaign where you can introduce certain strategies or certain services. There's nothing better than with a postcard campaign to glean out a community network group of seniors. They become your advocates, but they can help you put together packages. They love to do this. You know, those of you, and there's a lot of you guys, my friends on this webinar today, you know I have a background of private duty on the coast in South Carolina, right? I love my wife, that's why I moved to Tennessee, and that's about the only reason, because you never want to move away from someplace like that. But I used to do live presentations, but I had these committees set up, these problem-solving committees consisting of area seniors. And you give them a window into your business and create a steering committee for whatever purpose you want. They may be putting an event together for you. They may be ironing out a specialty program that you're putting together. But what you've created when you reach out to these seniors is advocates, power brokers in the community that'll go out and say, you know what, Eric's doing it the right way because he's listening to me. I got my footprint all in this CHF program. I helped put it together. So any diagnosis that I hear of with CHF, I'm going to be an automatic advocate and referral source for you. That's very powerful. And you can reach these advocates through community marketing by way of postcards when they come to your event. And that's another very powerful strategy you can talk to me about. Numbers on every screen, people. Seniors hate to be sold to, but they love to be informed, right? So you can't be too heavy-handed with seniors who'll see you coming. They are very wary of the fast sell. So you really have to connect with them on a needs basis. Soft sell presentations to market non-tangible items like healthcare services are the best way to go, right? So you can provide needed educational messages on a consistent basis. And I preach this all the time at boot camps, but if you can become a leader of the senior community in your service area, then you are going to be the king or queen of private duty services in your service area. In other words, if you're going around and you're setting up education classes or community events and you're touching these seniors still living in their home and making advocates of all the high functioning who all know 2 or 3 who need your services. If you can make advocates of those people by going around and befriending them, educating them, putting them in a social setting where they have some opportunity and benefit, then they're going to become advocates for you. And your agency will reach top of mind status with these consumers. So there it is. You knew I was leading up to something, right? The Health Matters Education Series. Adam and I put this series together for the sole purpose of creating the Pied Pipers of wrinkled butts in certain market sectors, right? And I talk to people all the time. We can put together any kind of event you want to, but if you don't have the cheddar in your local community of being able to get 100 or 200 seniors to any event, don't start it. Don't start it. Build up your influence in your local community. In other words, it takes about 3 or 4 months of contact. And then once they trust you, you're going around and you're providing education classes. Once you've reached a point of trust with a senior group that would attend any event that you recommend or any presentation that you're co-presenting, then you're the Pied Piper of wrinkled butts in your product service area, and you will rule your service area. Everybody that puts on an event, everybody that wants to reach these seniors, they'll all flow through you. You'll get these third-party referral sector relationships built up. Politicians will seek you out. Physicians will seek you out. Other people who need this audience will seek you out. This is the way to do it. If I told you that in 5 months I took an agency from billable of $9,200 to $15,800, and the only true marketing I ever did was education classes, it's the truth. And it works in every market. So that's what the purpose is behind the Health Matters Education Series. So we have 12 different topics, because I don't want you to go into a church group or activity director at a ILF or ALF or even a SNF and sell them on a single presentation. It's just like I tell home health. It's just as easy to ask for 20 discharges as it is for 1. It's just as easy for you to sell the series that you're coming in once a month for 12 months as it is to sell them on that initial class. And think about it, guys. If you're reaching these environments on a monthly schedule, you'll never have to make a sales call in this arena again, because you'll have a standing appointment. You'll go and teach them exercise your brain, fall prevention, diet, nutrition, chronic disease management. All these are really great classes that are already written, already done for you. Understanding medications, heart health, sensory changes as you age. Great class, right? In each class, I'll throw in an hour worth of, this is how to work it. This is how compassionate I am. I'm coming over here and providing you education. I'm not just claiming that I love you like I love my grandfather, right? I care about you as a person. Therefore, I'm telling you that certain conditions can be avoided or corrected. Everything's not due to age. That's a great class. Making the most of a doctor's visit. You know who loves these? General practitioners, because it makes their patients more compliant. You can even package doctor visit packages and services around this class. Sell them all the time. Every facility you go into, guys, and dropping off cookies and brownies. I'm not even going to get on my high horse about the cookies and brownies. You guys know how I feel about that. It's just crazy. The only way to get rich in home care, it seems anymore, is open up a specialty bakery next to a bunch of home care providers. And then you're going to be the guy with all the money, right? Because that's all they know how to market with. Instead of doing that, arrive with a solution to a problem. One of the problems in residential care facilities right now is the activities director's also the transportation person. And certain appointments conflict with each other. If they had a go-to person that could put together a doctor's visit package, do you think they'll give you a call? If you could package that $59 up to 3 hours, we're going to take your resident on a physician's visit, and we're going to give a detailed description on the events and instruction post-discharge. Yeah, we sell them all the time. Cold and flu prevention. If you're going to lead up and bring in a home health skilled provider for cold and flu prevention, it leads into open flu shot clinics. Flu shots, why is it important to skilled nursing facilities, residential care facilities? Because it's one of their outcomes reported on Medicare.gov. Do they need to offer all their residents flu shots and pneumovax vaccines? Yes, they do. This is a way to get through the door. Bone and joint health, senior exercise programs. Again, it leads to mobility conditions, safe transfer classes, joining with other healthcare providers. You could bring in orthopedists, podiatrists, any of them with these programs. Understanding allergies, that's another good one. So each one of these components that you see in front of you, there's a reason why they're all there. First of all, the most important part is probably the marketing kit, which is a step-by-step instruction on how to get into open areas where you need to start. People, I'm going to get on that soapbox in a minute. But you need to start with church groups, civic groups, social clubs, reach the seniors before they are touched by an acute setting or a chronic condition. Because you'll keep the senior longer, make more money for your agency, right? This is the way to do it. And the marketing kit explains it. Then it explains how to get in to ALFs, ILFs, and residential care facilities. It's a whole separate cell. It also teaches you how to use the collateral benefit of branding yourself to the seniors and turn that into events where you invite third-party referral sources, physicians, politicians, senior seminars. If you need to know how to do that, I'll send you a template. These can be put on for no cost. You make a vendor room, cover your cost, and most of the time they go really good, especially if you have that cheddar in your local community. The other component is the instructor guide. It's written on a 9th grade level. It's just there in case you have a big brain gap, which happens to all of us. It's just some talking points there. But what I want to encourage you is, yeah, you got all that information. You can share all that information. But I want you to start an open dialogue about these topics with the seniors in your community. And if you're at boot camp, I always tell the story, yeah, I wrote a chronic disease and condition class, and I started teaching it, and I never got to my filler text because the whole 45 minutes that I took was spent talking about bulldogs with cataracts, cats with alopecia and losing their hair, a parrot that died mysteriously and came back to life when I picked it up. It's all these senior tales, right, that you hear when you're out there teaching. And that's how you build the trust up, right? because they know you're not sent from God, and when you enter the room, it's not going to smell like celestial baby powder, okay? They know you're there as a service provider. It's just showing them that you're a person just like they're a person, and you actually care about their interests. That's what these classes are all about. So the big image of the brain exercising, pretty creative, huh? Miranda Fuller created all these images for you. It's a poster, and I get a big kick out of telling people that when you're teaching the education series, and you're going to teach them wherever civic clubs meet, wherever church groups meet, so you'll have these posters on church bulletin boards, you'll have them at Hardee's, talking about your next class, you'll have them at Bob Evans, Golden Corral. Man, your competition goes nuts when they go to the Golden Corral on Seafood Thursdays and they see your Exercise Your Brain Health Matters Education poster on the community bulletin board. But that's how you brand your services. Everywhere you teach, you're going to leave an upcoming class on a bulletin board. And then the smaller version is on the Exercise Your Brain with the little numbers on it. That's your class flyer. That's your handout. Those are your leave behinds. People start collecting those. They want all 12. They keep them. Their family members, decision makers see them. I've gotten calls on those. I've had family members show up for classes. It's just a good time. In fact, I was telling my wife the other day that it's a hard sell unless you see it. But the very first time I taught a health education class was at Palmetto Village in Bluffton, South Carolina, right outside of Hilton Head. And I had like 3 people. And I went home and I told my wife, Catherine, I said, I don't even know if this is going to work because I just spent, 45 minutes with 3 people and only one of them was awake. And I wasn't sure that I was getting through to that one, right? But I kept plugging away. After 3 months, I had 30 people. After 6 months, and when I moved away from Hilton Head, they were piggybacking other events off my education classes. If they had other people coming in to do piano recitals or whatever, the biggest and proudest moment is when I heard the activity director say, Eric, can you move it up 30 minutes because we're going to piggyback the children's choir coming in for a Christmas recital, and you'll already have all the people here. That's how it works, guys. And that's how you become the Pied Piper of wrinkled butts, and how it's important. So the smaller version, that's a postcard. You're going to send all those out to your clinical referral sources, out to all your cold leads. And it's just a note, not that you expect them to attend your classes, but it's a way for you to reach out and say, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and this is what I'm doing for the seniors out in my market. And then the back screen is very important. You see the character. That character is actually Rebecca Webb, our sales lady. So that's exactly what she looks like. So she's leaning against the backup pop-up banner, which is very important because sometimes you'll be teaching these classes in an open setting like a restaurant or half of a parlor in an ALF or in a church, and you're not taking up the whole room, but you need them to look and brand your services. While you're giving it, you'll be surprised how many times that they recognize your company logo and your contact information after you've taught there 2 or 3 times. And so you're not just Eric coming in to do a class on making the most of a doctor's visit. You're Eric from XYZ private duty agency coming in to do it because they associate your agency with you. So real good product. We're going to talk about it at the end. I want now to switch gears a little bit and talk about being progressive with package services, right? We already said a little bit, I gave you an analogy of if we had this kitchen to paint, who we would select. Don't follow your competitor's model of strictly hourly rates. Hiding rates hides the true value of your services. In other words, if you're going to be a salesperson, be a salesperson and be good at it, right? If all you're going to do is a drive-by, remember me, and drop off cookies, get out of the business. There's no point in being in it. If you don't have the passion, if you don't think you can make a difference, And if you don't see the true value of your services, then there's not going to be a place for you in the future. Because I got too many disciples out there leading with benefits. Going with an initial benefit statement. Here's what I can do for a certain patient population. Here's what I can do for you because you've asked about it. I've modified this package to suit you. Dr. Shaw, I have a CHF care package where I'm going to give you those patient scorecards every 2 weeks. That's the type of marketing you should lead with, benefits. Take the stress away from clients by matching their needs to your services. Don't throw it on them to guess how long it takes an aide to give a bath, cook a meal, and do light housekeeping. It scares them to death, right? We're that $100 an hour painter that we don't know if he's going to pull out an artist brush or a roller, right? So take the guesswork out. Tag coaches will help you develop open pricing models and hit the market differently. If nothing else, and I always tell the story, there's only one time where Pepsi almost caught Coke. That's when they came up with 16-ounce plastic bottles and put them in convenience stores, and Coke still had only aluminum cans and glass bottles. Pepsi nearly caught him just on delivery model alone. Never changed the formula, never did anything different. It was just something the consumer wanted. And by the time Coke caught on to it, Pepsi had actually caught him, and there's a book written about it, actually. But for about a 2 or 3 month period, Pepsi was king, right? Not anymore, because Coke copies all delivery models now. Your client base unsure what they're signing up for with hourly costs. They just don't know. There's always that element. So then, anytime you make that area gray and you're trying to close the trust sale, you got some work to do. It's got to be black and white, right? Consumers don't like to hire other service providers by the hour. We already talked about how we get our carpets clean, right? It's by the service. How much is it going to cost me to blow out those filters in my air conditioner where I keep mowing beside it and pushing grass clippings up in it? If one air conditioning guy told me it's going to be $75 an hour. Another guy told me it's $225. I called the guy, it was $225 because I don't know how long that first guy is going to take to get my grass clippings out of the air conditioner, right? Home care services are no different. Trust me on that. So here's an example of how you could package pricing to reach your market in a different way, right? So we're going to do a Sunrise Deluxe Care Package for 4 hours. Now, we're not even going to put the 4 hours there. We're not leading with the hourly. We're leading with the benefit. I just wanted to put that up there to show you that for $69, 3.5 to 4 hours, and no additional charges, you can do the following: medication reminder, bathing and dressing, morning meal preparation, general assistance with daily living, household laundry, light housekeeping, and errands as needed, right? Now, everybody in the business out there knows that that can be accomplished in 3.5 to 4 hours. Once all those items are taken care of, it doesn't matter if Mary took 3.5 or Mary took 4.5. The charge is the same. So now we have the trust of our market that this is the benefit. We're paying for all these things, a set price. It's going to happen, and we're not worried about Mary came in 15 minutes late, or Mary left an hour early, or Mary took 2 breaks instead of 1. And you just avoid all that, right? You can replicate the same packages at night. And this is a Supreme Sunset Care package. And guess what? It's the same stuff for the same price. I'm just describing it different. And you're going to see that in a lot of your care packages, right? 1 or 2 unique services you're adding or taking away or describing differently can make all the difference in your marketing and selling of private duty services. Trust me on that. You go out with an hourly price, I don't care what your intention is, I'll draw it out. I'll complete the circle. I'll paint such a finite picture in my referral source's mind, I'll take their business away from you if you're leading with an hourly price. And you have all that gray area where you have to send an RN in there for 2.5 hours to explain to an elderly person what they're going to get for $20.50 an hour, except on weekends is $22.50. I will take your business away from you, people, with these Supreme Care packages. Now, with package pricing, you always have backup, right? Because some people, regardless of the benefit, they want an hourly quote. It might be an off-site care decision maker. So you're always going to have your hourly, your daily, your 24/7 living rates to fall back on. I'm not taking that away from you. I'm telling you to create lead packages that make sense to the market and be one of the first ones in your market to do it. Prices can be advertised or kept as in-house price, right? We all know or should know that certain tasks take a certain amount of time. And that's how we will package and price our benefits accordingly. So, again, you can go to myhomecaresalescoach.com today. I can share it. I'll give you some open templates, let you look at some packages and see what they look like, and just get your brain, get your syntax working, right? And you know what? You're still going to want to turn into Krispy Kreme. I'm telling you, hold firm to that steering wheel and drive past. Just drive past one day. It all starts with day one, guys. We'll get you off. We'll get you off the donuts. Here's another great thing to do. Senior luncheon campaigns. So you can invite through variable data, mailings, all your prospects and your prior customers and all your advocates to senior luncheons with specific topics in mind, like dementia or osteoporosis. We've given it on dementia and memory care is really big, but we've given it on living with chronic conditions, which can incorporate arthritis, diabetes, and some other topics, or you can make them topic specific. But seniors love to gather, especially if you can select a local restaurant that has a good reputation in your service community. And when I say that, everybody thinks of one or two restaurants that they could hold these events at. And it's a way to market that gets past going into the highly competitive post-acute market arena and get back to where you're going to make your money. So here's where I get back on my soapbox, and I'm going to tell you, why do we go and wait at the back door of the hospital begging for discharge patients or to the doctor's office on a chronic condition patient when all our competitors are there? We pass each other. Sometimes we're waiting at the desk and we speed up walking so we can get to the window first, as if that makes a difference, by the way. I always slow down, and because you want your competitors to take the brunt of the first one. I can always do better after I hear what kind of mood the MOA's in or the gatekeeper's in, right? There's some collateral information there you can have. But I want you guys to stop doing that so much and start marketing back where we need to get our clients, and that is what I call the blue ocean. When the clients are still living in the home, still able to make it, but they have needs, we need to reach out with them, make some advocates in the community. These advocacy groups, again, are very powerful, and start infiltrating the seniors who are high functioning. And to be honest, you can put together a bridge night package where your aide comes in, helps them fix refreshments. Maybe it's a wife taking care of a husband, and he needs bathing and dressing, but he likes to play bridge too. Or a night out package where you do the same thing and you take this elderly couple to their favorite restaurant. It's a 3-hour package where you're attending the meal with them, you're connecting with them on such an intimate level because you're providing them the opportunity to keep living as they choose to live, right? That's what we should be all about. Forget showing up with an empty bucket at the back door of the hospital, fighting like a junkyard dog over the next acute discharge. Come on, guys. Let's get back to the basics here. which leads me into a great screen. Marketing to religious leaders. I love doing that. You know, one of the best packages I ever put together is palliative care packages, because we can do what hospice agencies do for their clients in the evenings that they can't afford to do on a daily rate. They do it in the mornings. These hospice patients need those same care in the evenings. They still need to be bathed, dressed, gotten ready for bed, sometimes meals prepared. These families, they're going through hospice episodes, palliative care episodes. They're some of the most rewarding private duty services you'll ever market is to these family members. And it goes, you know, it goes past just our service. There's something there, right? But team up with your hospice agencies, and the great thing that hospice can do is come in and teach your staff some elements of palliative care. And then you can start marketing your staff as palliative care trained, right? Buy them a little pin with a tulip on it, or a nurse's cap, or whatever you want to signify. I'm a firm believer in my caregiver training. But to have a hospice agency come in and put their footprint by training your staff in the special needs of palliative care patients, do you think they're going to refer to you or refer to someone they've never taught? Right? Common sense. I love XYZ Home Care Agency, Eric's group, because I personally trained them. So when I'm out in the field and these family members need the care in the evenings that I can't afford to give them, I have Eric's palliative care brochures and flyers there. It's a beautiful thing, and it's very much needed. And you return the favor, right? You can put together quarterly pastoral breakfasts in your market. I had a great partner in the South Carolina market, and I left that strategy with them, a hospice agency. You bring in area pastors, let them network, but it's all about health care, home care, hospice, skilled nursing, DME, Medicare, Medicaid, private duty services. You want to educate them in the entire continuum. There's a lack of information about a lot of different healthcare sectors. There's a lot of changes in healthcare. A lot of pastors don't know that their congregation can get annual wellness visits for free, or all the co-pays for all preventative medicine are now waived and it's all free, or that hospice is paid for, and that, you know, the pastors need to know that hospice episodes, people in palliative care live longer, have a better quality of life. There's a lot of messages we could get out there through the religious leaders in our local service areas. So you provide the opportunity to educate about much needed services that include private duty, but that's where you bring in all your care partners and start networking in a really effective way. Not attending these 200 plus network groups where everybody stands up and gets 30 seconds and there's some bozo at the front tapping his wristwatch. So, private duty calendars. This is one of the most effective products and best-selling products we sell because the obvious. The average calendar is seen thousands of times a year. It can be branded to your agency, and it tells them about specific benefits to specific patient populations. So this is an example of a page of our private duty specific calendars. It's marking around a specific home care observance, which is Celebrate National Physical Therapy Month, Healthy Aging in Home Care, and it's tips for healthy aging, and again, what private duty home care services can do for that patient profile. Disease-specific programs. Oh, by the way, remember the shadow image of Reba. Reba's the one you need to ask for, this lady right here, because she can get you a great deal on these private duty calendars as well. So let's move on to one of our last topics on this webinar, and it's disease-specific care plans. So I'm going to make this distinction, right? I always tell private duty agencies, everyone's on a health continuum. It goes from I'm good, I'm happy, I can kick a soccer ball across my yard, to I'm dying, I'm dead. And on one needs assessment, they probably need some custodial services like Mary Maids, like housekeeping, maybe laundry services. Maybe they're suffering from a chronic condition. They could use a hand in the home. That's when you want to get them. On the other end, man, they've been touched by so many agencies, so many pitches. They're in such dire straits. They either have a serious chronic condition or an acute exacerbation or acute condition upon discharge. It's not the place to start your marketing, okay? You start it earlier with the seniors. So if I could say one thing, is buy that education piece and start hitting the seniors in the home while they're high functioning. Make advocates of these people because they know everybody else anyway. And that's how you brand yourself. However, I know that I'm making you give up donuts today, and you're going to pass Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts and not pull in the parking lot this week. So I'm not going to take you off cold turkey what you're used to doing. I'm just going to make you more effective in doing it. So if we're going to call on clinical service areas, then let's go disease specific. It's got to make sense to the clinicians, right? And I can show you how to talk the nursey talk to get through of the value of your benefits that you're proposing with disease-specific care plans. So clinicians and physicians recognize the effectiveness of disease-specific care plans, right? So you go around your community and you interview referral sources. If you come to a boot camp, there's a whole class on the sales process and how to pull it off, how to close the sale. Because a lot of people just, do the fly-by close, which is, remember me, honey, bye. I hope you enjoy that. I'll go a little off topic. I was in a doctor's office in Chicago, Illinois 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing the amount of bagels, donuts, and crap that's in the break room trash can that nobody ever eats. They're just inundated with it. It means nothing to them. There's no value there, right? So stop doing it. Interview your referral sources. Find out what their specific true needs are. And then package your services according to unique needs of discharge populations, right? And so here's some examples. The benefits of disease-specific care plans, your goals and expected outcomes are easily communicated. Your interventions to assist the clients are customized. And who tells you how to do it? Your referring sources. Don't arrive with all the answers. Nobody wants to hear that. They have the answers, right? This is the only service cell in the world where it pays not to be the expert. Just be a willing participant to do it their way. You'll get a lot more business that way. Referral sources are more willing to release the care of their patients to educated caregivers who are willing to listen and do it their way. Okay? It'll set your agency apart from your competition. And also, it develops your staff, and it gives you several opportunities because, and you'll come, and Adam teaches a great class on how to become a celebrity expert in your local community and what that means. That's the upscale version of being the Pied Piper of wrinkled butts, right? That's going on the radio and being a disease-specific support group expert. It also opens specialty markets to your agency and promotes host-parasite relationships. So here's how we do it, okay? You start with disease-specific information brochures. And everybody says, I've seen those around or whatever. And we keep making these general service brochures where we talk about ourselves and how we're touched by some celestial being. And every time our aides walk in the room, it smells like heavenly baby powders or something. It's just crazy the way we talk about ourselves, right? In fact, just seeing those type of brochures and that type of sell flyer, it brings down the credibility of the whole industry. That's not what we're about, right? But if you are, then, you got it all figured out and you don't even need my help. If you are touched by an angel, Congratulations. The rest of us who are on our medicine, we need to start out with disease-specific brochures, right? Because no referral source anymore is going to hand out a brochure that talks about how great you are and how much you love your clients. However, if you give them a disease-specific brochure on congestive heart failure, they'll use that as patient information at point of discharge. In other words, you want to get your agency services out, choose disease-specific information brochures. And we have a ton of them to choose from. And this is all about private duty services, not skilled services. But this is the adjunct piece of collateral that you use when you're packaging your price, packaging your service packages, is these disease-specific information brochures. So see how many we got? You can take over the clinical discharges of private duty, one disease-specific campaign and package at a time, right? I always tell people, when you're going to talk to clinicians, there's a special way to talk. But every time you talk, you can't talk in generalities. You have to be specific. So I teach the strategy of go after one piece of pie with every visit, because they're not going to give you the whole pie. But you can make your case on post-CVA and stroke victims. You can make your case on heart disease or mental illness, right? It's more specific. Here's another thing clinical referral sources like. They like for you to keep their patients compliant in the home. So if they have chronic blood pressure issues or a history of angina or post-heart attack, and they need their vital signs tracked, a health log goes a long, long way. Blood pressure specific logs. Doctors love to see those come back in with the patient, and it's like a walking billboard for your agency and your services. Doctors and clinical discharge nurses, they pay attention to things like this. You can also, in your brain exercise, pass out books that matter, right? So if you were to go to a doctor's offices and say, can I leave my general service brochures, then they're going to be put on a coffee table with everybody else's brochures who are collectively talking about how compassionate they deliver private duty services. However, you can't keep these puzzle book racks full with your same contact information. They'll get gone quick. Here's my home care sales coach. And I put this page up just to show you, if you were a member of My Home Care Sales Coach, each one of these templates that you see on this screenshot, and there's probably tens of thousands of printed collateral templates on here, is available for you to upload your company's logo and contact information. But you got to use them, but they're up there, right? And if you need something specific, give me a call. So this is what a private duty blood pressure flyer may look like. So now I want to get into wrapping it up and talk about disease-specific care plans and examples and how you should present them, right? The underlying message to you guys as providers is we do this stuff anyway. Everything we do here, we do in the home at the patient's request. What I'm telling you is package it as a benefit service and hit your clinical discharge sources with the benefit first, not your hourly cost, right? So here's an example. Arthritis package, we prepare meals to maintain correct diet and avoid discomfort. So anytime I'm talking to a clinician or a physician, I never leave it as, here's what we have found, so here's what we did about it. I always draw out the outcome. Here's what you can expect to happen due to my actions. Because guess what, guys? Clinicians, physicians, that's how they think. No doctor would ever prescribe you a medication if he didn't have an expected outcome or benefit for giving it to you. So we got to complete the circle by showing them what they can get as a benefit for their patient population. So we're preparing meals to maintain correct diet and avoid discomfort. We assist with sewing and writing to provide fine motor skill support. We assist with laundry to avoid lifting and prevent joint stress. We monitor medications to assist with pain and discomfort measurement management. Right? So that's our arthritis package. So we draw out the benefits. But look, guys, we're preparing a meal. We're assisting with writing or sewing as an activity. We're doing some laundry, and we monitor their medications as ordered. We're doing that anyway. We just packaged it as our arthritis package. Now a diabetes package. Prepare diet-conscious meals to help stabilize blood sugars. We monitor skin conditions to prevent skin breakdown and extremities. You say that line right there, and you're putting lotion on their chronic diabetic patient's feet. You know what that tells a clinician? You get it. You get it, right? You didn't spend all morning putting Hershey's Kisses in a coffee mug and trying to select what color cellophane you're going to wrap it up in. You put together something that has benefit to their patient population. We monitor medications to ensure maintenance medications are taken correctly. We monitor and record blood sugar readings to ensure proper insulin dosage. And it goes on and on. Here's a stroke. Direct supervision of activities of daily living to prevent falls and provide safety. We transfer assistance for patients with paralysis or partial paralysis to alleviate injury, avoid discomfort. We support with feedings at mealtimes for clients who have difficulty swallowing, to prevent aspiration pneumonia, to provide a safe environment. You see that, guys? Mobility assistance supervision to prevent falls, right? So, again, you go with the idea, you go with the draft, and these screenshots could be your draft. Just put them in bullet points on flyers, and then you let your referral sources have input in all your flyers. The more co-ownership they have, the more they will refer. So I'll say for the third time on this webinar today, they'll refer because they showed you how to do it. They have some ownership in your service model now, right? You make a list of all referral sources in your market that can benefit, and go hit it, and hit it big. You'll get a lot of business. So here's a total recap of the strategies we talked about today. And if you guys have specific questions, I'm not getting off the webinar without reading some of your questions. So in the question and answer box, if you'll just type in if you have a quick question or a quick request. Otherwise, I challenge each and everybody on this webinar to be calling 1-866-232-6477 to schedule something or to take something away from it, get some samples or something. You guys, now you know. So there's no excuse not to do it the right way. So a recap of strategies. You reach out to your seniors easily with specific condition lists and cost-effective postcard mailer campaigns. We went over that. We can target disease-specific patients in our service areas, and we don't need a salesman to do it. The largest single sector to draw business from is the general senior community market. Why don't you have the education series? Why aren't you out there scheduling classes today? It puts you in front of hundreds of seniors every month, the people that you really need. You don't have to go and face that mean discharge nurse anymore at the hospital who won't take your time and tells you to put your donuts down without even a thank you. Come on. You can purposefully embrace your pricing, packaging of your services for your agency, the effectiveness of your service flyer, and bundling of services based on disease-specific patient populations. That's the way to go. Remember about working with area hospice agencies and providing them palliative care service flyers. You can package your services once they train your staff. You don't have to stop with hospice. You can go into other areas. There's just such a great need of hospice. Hospice is a growing healthcare commodity out there. Jump on that bandwagon and be an adjunct service provider. Bring them into all your events. Bring them in to be speakers, but also make sure you have that palliative care package flyer for them to hand out to all their clients. So here's where you find out where everything is. And that's not Reba on My Home Care Sales Coach. That's a professional model. Reba looks way better than that lady. But if you go to www.myhomecaresalescoach.com, you can sign up for a free 7-day trial, kind of check the system out and see these different items that we talk about. But that's how to get in touch with us here at TAG Home Care Marketing. And here's my exclusive offer for just you guys today, right? I want you guys to call. And Reba's going to be busy on the phone when these webinars end and I'm finished talking. You won't be able to get to Reba because she'll have 4 calls waiting. So ask for Brian, ask for Cindy, tell Heather to give you somebody with a pulse that you can talk to because you need some of this stuff. You've been doing it the wrong way too long, right? Or if you just want to talk to Eric. After I go get a sandwich, I'll be back and we'll make up an appointment and we'll talk. But today I'm going to give you 25% off published pricing on any collateral you saw on today's webinar. It's a great deal, right? Because it costs me the same to print it every day. Today I'm just, I'm crazy in giving you this crazy discount. And I am including for the first time ever the Health Matters Education Series. I've never had to discount it before because it's a good seller. It was the #1 seller last year. But guys, I want you guys to have it. And you can get it for way less than $1,000. You can start this program and be in these facilities instead of sitting there thinking, yeah, I could do it, right? What's stopping you? Honestly, look at your receipts that people are handing in for all the gas and the baked goods and the sub sandwiches and pizzas. Don't get in that lunch line, okay? Let other people do that. You go after your clients and add benefit. So call in, get your Health Matters Education Startup Kit. It will be branded to your agency. You'll never regret it. Nobody's ever put one in a box and demanded their money back. These things work. So call me at 1-866-232-6477 for discounts on the Health Matters Education Series. I'll sell you the whole 12 topics for the price of 8. Reba's going to do that. Brian will do that. Cindy will do that. So I hope they're on this call because sometimes I make these crazy offers and then people call in and they say, no, we're not allowed to do that at a big discount. Just say Eric said so, right? When you call in and order it today, you'll be happy you did. Again, we are TAG Home Care Marketing. My name is Eric Crump. I'm at eric.crump at theadamgrp.com. I already know by looking at the phone banks that we're getting blown up. But again, our number is 1-866-232-6477. And if you need to come to Franklin for a boot camp, because this is the tip of the iceberg, guys, we have private duty specific boot camps. I'm going to sell the seats at a discount today for December 1st and 2nd. First 10 people who secure their seats are in. We only take up to 10 people for these boot camps, and this is just going to be about private duty services. If we don't blow your mind and you don't see the true value in it, I will gladly refund your money on your way out. It's just that simple. No one's ever, we always say that, no one's ever even in kidding asked for their money back. If you don't believe it, go to bigreferralsbootcamp.com and look at all the testimonials that we have online. www.bigreferralsbootcamp.com. It's amazing because we don't teach you how to go into a doctor's office and look at a picture on a wall and try to build it into a conversation because that's their interest level or whatever. We teach you sales process, effective strategy. We reach hundreds and hundreds of private duty providers all across the country. We know what works. We know what's not working. We benefit when you benefit. We want you to be the king and queen of your service area, and we can help you make it happen. Contact us through www.homecarecoachingcall.com. And again, you can look at this and other past webinars on www.youtube.com/tag webinars. So I'm going to read some questions and comments while I leave my contact information up there for a little bit. We already addressed Colin wanted more Jackson 5 on the lead-in. Another question about the lead-in, was that you singing Prince, Little Red Corvette? That was me, but I didn't realize I was on Hope. I can do better than that. I can really actually sing a little better than that. Do you send a presentation of this webinar to participants on the call today? Yes, we can. We'll do that for you. Is there a limit on myhomecaresalescoach.com memberships? No. You can have as many as you wish. Buy 100. I'll give you one free. There's a question about how many on the topics. Can we go over the topics of the education series again? Let's find that slide for you guys. I want to be real specific in the different, and each one is written for a specific market push. Some of these are time sensitive, like cold and flu. You want to do that in October. Maybe heart health in February. Allergy seasons, you either want to do that in April or in September. But all of these are great lead-in conversations to have with your clients, with your seniors out in the community. So, can you buy a single topic? Yes, you can. You can buy a single topic, any one of these that you want. And you get all those things. It would be like if you chose Exercise Your Brain, this is what your startup packet would look like. And then you could buy topics as you see that it works. You certainly can, and we'll discount the price of those startup kits as well. Franklin, Tennessee. They want to know what the weather's like on December 1st and 2nd in Franklin, Tennessee. I don't know what it's going to be like this year. Usually it's in the 60s. It's nice. We don't get usually snow until the end of December or in January. You would fly into Nashville Airport. You get a free tour of a recording studio. Sometimes we meet recording artists. I've got my pecan pie box with Michael McDaniel from the Doobie Brothers signature on it. And we've seen Kelly Pickler, Winona, Max Spots 20 was at the recording studio when we had our last boot camp. So you guys, you'll have a great time coming here. It's not all about working, but you're going to need to go take a vacation from your vacation, though. We're going to give you a lot of helpful hints. The training is for agency owners or your marketing staff, and we like it when agency owners come with their marketing staff because it has to start from the top and go down, because a lot of times this is a brand new philosophy that we're doing. So on the training, seems to be a lot of questions on the boot camps today. But BigReferralBootCamps.com is where you go. You call in 866-232-6477. Reba, Cindy, Brian, Heather, somebody will hook you up with one of those seats on December 1st and 2nd, as long as they hold out. And we only bring in one agency per service area. Your direct competitors will never be at boot camp with you. But we bring in a lot of very successful clients from all over the country. So you'll learn just as much from the other attendees as you will from your instructors, or close to it, right? Well, guys, the other questions are about specific products, the cost and prices and everything. Again, call 1-866-232-6477. I'm going to leave this contact information up. Thank you very much for attending today's webinar. This is the final webinar of our summer series. Look for in your inbox and be sure to put us as one of your favorites. We'll send you information about the fall webinar series. There's some great new classes that we're going to go over in the fall webinar series. That'll be coming up, information in 2 to 3 weeks. If you see TAG Home Care Marketing at any of your trade shows, we'll be at the National Private Duty Association in November out in Vegas. We attend some of these state shows. Just walk up, say hi. We'll give you a free book or do something for you. We appreciate you guys. We wish you all the luck and success in the world. And we only succeed when you succeed. Remember that. We're in it for you. And thank you for attending the summer series. That's all we got for you today. I'm going to leave my contact information up a little bit. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.